welcome back to Disco Elysium.
The display rack is brimming with worn paper, rows and rows of here, maybe 100. Not even close. Man from Hjelmdal in hell. Man.
Oh, blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narrative. What does it matter? If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hjelmdalaman.
Rows and rows, maybe 100. The display rack before you is a small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Wonderful choice, sir. A wholesome family game.
In your hands, you hold a brand. The cover features a charming illustration. The exact location and time period are left deliberately vague, but it's clearly meant to represent the box as an. Even before you open it, you can tell the plastic wrap. There's a hiss as the lids. Savor that new board game smell. A mix of wood, paper, and ink, all wrapped in the sweet. Welcome to Suzerainty, a game of economic strategy for the whole family. The rulebook is sumptuously illustrated and thick as a Gradian novel. The instructions are opaque at first, and you soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain of Revachol. Your objective is to increase the suzerain's wealth and renown, but that's where the suzerain's vassals come in. The game, each turn, the player collects resources from vassals where they've placed workers. They may then rearrange their workers, fulfill contract. As you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar labeled Advice for. Remember, there are many paths to victory in Suzerainty. The actual scoring system appears infinitely complex. With a series of tables and appendices, you open up a number of pouches containing wooden tokens. There are also several punch boards, in addition to the worker and building token from the Empire of Sephre. Orange.
Oh, those are nice.
Each cardboard token makes a satisfying as you.
What? You're not going to offer to let me punch any of them out?
You hold the open game. The lieutenant looks over the rulebook before.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6. I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart.
Of course. Such violence and immorality. I mean, enjoy.
In your hand, you hold Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Eye. The cover features a pastiche of different scenes. In the foreground, a man in a dark overcoat clutches a pistol to his chest. The tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an...
Are you really reading that, detective? Good luck finding it. He's not much of a character, I think you'll find. Just a stand-in for the reader.
The point is for the reader to feel like they're solving the crime. The story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen is greeted by an old friend, Charlie Spillane, who's come to Mullen to ask. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vespa to a small town along the Insulindian coast. Despite his friend's apparent agitation, Mullen does as he's asked, then returns home where he passes out drunk, as he does most nights. 2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vespa police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that Charlie Spillane was shot in a bar in the very town Mullen. Desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vespa police to release him for 3 days. so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove.
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that his profession. Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman named Diana Denerva. And not just any dame. She's truly one in a million, a knockout whose secrets are the currency of human relations. Denerve reveals that she was Spillane's lover and that he was mixed up with a local amphetamine smuggler. Not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torvald, each of whom has his own reasons for one. Outwardly, the old police captain is a real law and order crypto-fascist, a barrel-chested man who's beaten his share of suspects to pulp. He would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old war injury. Is it possible that he was able to conceal it long enough? A typical privileged twat. In all likelihood, he's just in over his head. He does bear a personal grudge against Spillane, though, a former prosecutor who nearly brought down his father. The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he is the correct height, and while interrogating him at his home, Mullen did notice Torvald, the art collector, is a strung-out mess. That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history, and while interrogating him, Mullen discovers that Torvald was once involved with Diana Denerve. Could it be that this is all? One evening, Diana Denerve comes to Mullen. Yes, comfort and pleasure. The warmth of another human's touch. The burning taste of liquor on her full, sweet lips. As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Diana Denerve, whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly. When Mullen comes to, Denerve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing it's only a matter of hours before the heat is on. If Dick Mullen, can you solve the case before the cops close in? What is it, detective? It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to do it. That's why there was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective. For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book. From nowhere, you hear the screech of sneakers on it. You won't find the answers you're looking for here, in other words. So, who did it, detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Diana Denerve? Could be. Who knows? You begin furiously flipping through pages. Even you try to grab the page. Dozens of pages scatter across the floor. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible that you could gather.
Ah, yes. The problem with Matt. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back.
Don't forget, it could have been that in your hand you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen. The precarious world. How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play or you can crawl under a boat and waste away, turn into salt or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that.
Hello again, sir. Which book was it, sir? Oh, I'm very sorry, sir. I haven't read that one yet. I wish I could help you.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
He's on.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
He's on.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
He's on your crime scene, boss.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
He's on your.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
He's on.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
He's on your.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
He's on your.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
It's not Kuno. It's Kuno S. Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. Kuno has no problem being near you, while the other hides behind the fence, afraid. All in all, Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. You must win yourself a few minutes with him alone. Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. All in all,
Fuck you whispering about?
he's whispering too. He's going with it.
Fuck you whispering about!
She puts extra stress onto that word.
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
She's not fucked up.
Wrong move. But he's whispering still. You haven't lost him. Just don't mess up again. Or you will. There are no guarantees here.
Crazy? You don't know the half of it. She's not crazy. She's insane. Dangerous. She's smoked a man. She's done people in. Probably even pigs.
Stop talking to him! Kuno, I'm fucking warning you! You're gonna get us into shit!
She understands what you're trying.
Yo, see? Did Kuno not tell ya? Kuno told ya. Kuno talks to whoever he wants. Talk, pig. Kuno's got it under control.
You did it. They're separated. He's even turned his back to her so she can't read his lips.
Kuno means she killed someone. That's right. She's a killer. Like, actually a killer.
His little green eyes are fixed on yours. He's meant everything he said before. But right now, he not only means it, he is sincere.
Are you getting this? Do you think I'm fucking telling you a joke here? How hard do you think it is to kill a fat ass? Sweet talk him, then knife him. She's probably killed a pig too. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has. Forget Kuno said that. Kuno was just shitting. Kuno.
A cop would be too large for her to overpower, but a determined child of her size can still kill the vulnerable. The creature peers at you both from over the fence. There is something searching in her eyes. Kuno falls.
Kuno, there. That's it. That's what Kuno is starting to think, yeah. Yeah, she's psycho. None of that kiddie psycho. Cat burning shit. She does the real deal. Snuff radio shit. Believe me, pig, you don't want to know.
And he doesn't even want to think about it. This isn't just another boast.
Fuck knows. She says it's the song of her crazy people. The fucking Nakis.
It's Suruese. The Suru are an indigenous ethnic minority in the social democratic powerhouse Vasa on the tundra and tiger-covered Isola of Katla. Far, far away from here. As far as you mean evil little red-haired people like her? Yes, they do. The Suruese have that ginger gene.
Suruese? Like that man from Shelmdall shit? She could be.
Revachol does have a small Suruese community, or she climbed into a yakberry crate and was shipped over accidentally.
Yeah, she would have liked to fuck him up, but she didn't. Look, Kuno's gonna put you at ease. We didn't do it.
He speaks the truth, my liege.
Fuck no, she's not my sister. She's just a stray who got it. Yeah, she was just there.
What was that, Kuno?
She was in the hallway, dripping wet, by the fucking shoe rack, in the dark.
A shoe cupboard just off to the right. Have you been to this place?
Yeah, that's the place. She was just balled up near the closet. Kuno's got no fucking idea. Her hair was all wet. I think she pissed. I don't know. Someone left the door open. Kuno comes home and she's sleeping under. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit. Doesn't even see her there. Or thinks it's fucking Kuno. Shit's all on Kuno. How's Kuno dealing? Kuno's got this shit under control. Listen. See, it's Kuno's go-to.
This is what it all comes down to.
I'm going to kill you. I'll run when you put the cuffs on her, sneak up on you later, and fuck you up. You understand? Alright, now we can do business. Yeah? What do you want? Kuno can hook.
Don't hook him up with shit, Kuno.
See? Relax. He respects the Kuno. Kuno made him respect the Kuno. Kuno's gonna get you hooked on illegal narcotics if you run a little errand for the Kuno. Get you hooked, pig. Get his hook in you. Then Kuno... That's right. Kuno's a candy store for pigs now. Get ready to be rewarded. Kuno doesn't...
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. This the whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other. That's a good question. Reality is The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master. The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R.
can I do for you, officer? And I'm eager to return to her. My wife understands that just as well as...
Come on, Morale.
And leave the traps? Absolutely.
Come on. She wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. Yes, that's how we first came to know one another. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't... No. The traps need to be monitored.
He's dead set up. I could go for some trap setting.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, there are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture? I have a feeling the only people foolish enough to spend their time skulking among the reeds are these poor fools, and us. But fine, it's not like we are drowning in leads.
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Wise choice.
This is the smell of dying.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like...
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I...
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Finally.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions...
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to... But what if the information is vital? On the hunt. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. Nothing happens.
I don't think that's good. Do you think our suspect is hiding inside?
The lieutenant, high above, the wind wraps the church in its rush, cold and wet from the ocean bay. It parts around the massive keel-shaped roof, like a test tunnel washing both sides, the way it has done for 340 years. The wind keeps its distance.
There is a hole in my heart.
The lieutenant looks at the padlock. He didn't hear you asking. You were quiet enough. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it... There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue...
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
This cheap-looking padlock, it'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment. Yes, the pulsing base. A sure sign of junior delinquency.
There's something on the sea ice there. A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you.
So should you. I don't know, some kind of a store? Maybe a general store? Look, man, fuck the hat. I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me. A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
Why? Okay. No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No idea.
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble. Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium. Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck. Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Elysium going kind of...
Hey, didn't Piss and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too?
A skull thing? Man,
No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person. Say you're cool.
yes? Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound. My boyfriend sold them. I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizer.
Take this, you're cold.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Go ahead. Okay, bye. Hello again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The wind howl, it's real. Tell her.
What is? Okay, I'll stick to it. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer? Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to. What is it? Oh, really? So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress? Okay, so you're not that upset, it sounds like. Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about, and not, I don't know. Okay. Why do you think that? There you have it then, chick trouble. Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this, chica. Are you... Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you? How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing? Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much...
It's obvious she's done
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank. You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich. You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches...
Yes, but it itches really, really bad. The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all...
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out. Sorry, we barely have room for...
You go ahead.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike...
I'm sure you will feel right at home.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welsh.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yegs and args. This produces a gut, or maybe it's not Gotvalian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name.
You know about him? You know Van Eyck? Good, good. The Advent?
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? You see a youngish man bleaching the...
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to...
His grip is strong, sweaty.
This is my posse.
The young man with earrings looks at...
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we...
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noit's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast. I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts...
Dopheads! Burnouts!
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Reversholt.
Strike that! The world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there with...
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Yes, yes. And the worst part is, they're also spooky. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre. And also,
they don't eat or clean. The people just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. All right, man.
Andre is obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tented.
Yes, I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Of course. Noid.
All right.
It's as if time has frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key. Blam! Straight in a stabbing pain. Tears stream.
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got over it. I really am sorry, man. Just...
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
The key?
He is shifting in his spot.
We were talking about the padlock, I think. Not long, like a week maybe? Thank you. We just thought it was the right thing to do. Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. Yes, there's also, when I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water.
Andre!
Oh, and it felt like the...
No!
Which other one?
Felt like silence. Awful.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone... Sure, why not?
But not really. Brown hair. Old.
What noise?
Ruby's gone. The woman is someone else.
Like, you aren't...
It wasn't quite...
Not human.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling. Yeah, you know.
It was stalking a cell.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for...
Crab man!
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it.
You should ask her about it, but be nice.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct...
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind.
Good idea. Well...
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Hey now, I'm 70% Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think that... Sure. What? Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. Yes. What?
He nods enthusiastically. No doubt, a little...
As always, we'll be...
Heavy wooden doors, more than the lock turns.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes in the heart of the city. The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. Or maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, and then it's gone. It seems the sound here is detached from its. You can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which your voice is barely audible. The lieutenant points to his ears.
Can you hear anything? I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing, on its premises. The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely. It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more.
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling. You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. The shadow is a man made the crab man. The man leaned forward.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in general.
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to...
Hey, and what was that about? The bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Wayne. I can smell the control all the way over here. Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc Albino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Whatever it is, he's quite confident. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer. A machine stands in the corner, watched over.
Another radio computer. And this, we should probably let it be. It's becoming clear that there's no trace of the suspect anywhere inside the church. It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is you see fluorescent play and print, but the lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the... This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its contents. In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you. The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen. She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever as it haunts all men. The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit. More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an no, we are alone. Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science, what she made the most of her position in the antediluvian court. A court visited by the most prominent. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared, it was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, she was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered wow indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees, bystanders reported golden. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt. Terrifying, is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of suggesting those who fight against it are not part of human. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they... This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefreiter, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? Okay. It's just that you've been looking at this church, the coast in general. We shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. Unknown. A motor carriage? A gunshot? Someone falling into it? Or maybe... The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman. Small figures of wise men, common men. Worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, 30 years, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail. Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of human
death, life again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RC. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was justice, union, prudence, and force. Eyes cool.
The mother of humanism, Tao. The mother of humanism. The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps.
Good afternoon, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brune. This is...
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good. Please repeat.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Received. Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. Nothing happens. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crystal. This is the machine's filament. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune.
It's military. A service depot. Probably something that is no longer there. From here to the wiring, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight.
We don't get in there. Frankly, you're just going to have to...
No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everard knew that's a part of our MO.
Yeah, I understand you. I like opening doors as much as the next guy. Relax. No one's hiding in there.
At least you can think about opening it. About doors in general. They are, after all, fundamental. There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. The reeds shake sadly. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. I meant no offense. Just...
The reeds shake sadly. The wind picks up here.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love. Too many times essay.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it. Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on...
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And
sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did too busy. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness. It's all just for the mother, man. No need to. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. Convenience has got nothing to do with what goes on up there.
There's a profound longing in that gaze, like he wants...
Do you remember your names?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me. Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway, why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Might even be nice to have some company. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to... No. There's a new god in town, and she can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark, beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes. I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skin.
They look pretty dapper, actually.
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound. Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh?
The sinewy figure lingers on the
police raid a while.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. I think we're done here, Essay.
That was, however, I'm still not...
The shaggy hair.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here. Oh, that. You're not gonna be...
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that.
Like a crab, you say?
You saw him? Does it mean that you went in there? Did you see the other spooker, the one in That's odd. You should search her machine. Maybe it says where she went. My associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my...
To the cops.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
A pane of it barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute.
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked old and little... You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. So very, very, very... The mother of humanism stands above. Why? That does seem to be a problem. Maybe, I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of you. The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax...
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of... It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago, where only animals...
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find the instigator here.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLorean?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
The woman looks by in silence.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accord.
The machine's keyboard, the speaker.
Good afternoon. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. Good. Please repeat the past good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Goodbye, Votre.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get... The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the print.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite... Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I should... What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next,
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Something about the backup data getting destroyed. And how everyone thought it was the author's fault. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be her former co-worker.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again.
The strike. We are nearing the day. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what...
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less...
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than...
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music. One neo-disco song over. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came.
The girl on the ice?
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez...
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Your reading is interrupted by this. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
No one's hiding here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed...
We should talk to her. After...
What is it? Yes. Or no. Not anymore.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes her.
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't...
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still...
Nope. Yes. And... No. You're right. I'm not. What? No.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I use the AR-1 as my RAIM prefix processing unit. Mm-hmm. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna. On the front, the unified front of radio waves, licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air...
Like love.
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage and the operation has... But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilian. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieux dedicated to that sort of thing. I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its...
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something. So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps. Because I needed something good for my investigation and RAIM Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. Besides, owning...
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see Ream Prefect.
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade RAIM Rational series, but couldn't. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIM Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility. They are connected to my RAIM Prefect. Whatever you...
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for.
Great. You really like those questions, don't you? I'm conducting scientific research here. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have?
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins.
Ah, hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be...
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to...
The Pillar of Silence? Are you...
Maybe. But it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led... I know. No, I don't. Because it's just trial and error. Trying to locate the swallow, the exact... And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just... Great. Thanks. What? I hate...
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Yeah. Like all the time. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it. But to a sober-minded this is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a... Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have an...
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Yes, what is it? The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks.
Hello again. My associates? Of course I...
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
The young man with...
This is hardcore. It's hardcore! Skibber-dee, skibber-danger. Back to the head. Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as...
Hardcore! Ah! Is it though? But is it? I mean, really? I am the mic enforcer. The cloud. True. Hard. Foot. Hardcore. Hardcore to the internally coherent. Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yekokata. The place to be.
Yekokata is an abbreviation from the Gradian term, Zone of Ecological Catastrophe, an agricultural megaproject in the extremes, an intricate system of irrigation networks pockmarking the earth, intermittent seas of phosphorus mud, ripped tarpaulin fluttering in the wind.
The cloud. True. Hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Here comes the... The cloud. True. Hardcore. Internally coherent. All core. All right. Gotta get the people going. Yeah. Request. The cloud. True. Hardcore. Internally coherent. All core. Gotta get the people. I'm the party boy. It's my job. Hardcore party 24/7 beyond...
There is a place far away in Cutler, beyond a certain latitude, known as Winter's Orbit, where there are 25 hours in a day. It is a tremendously cold place, abandoned to drunks and failed rock stars, full of eat.
The club. True. Hardcore. Internally coherent. All car. Gotta get the people. I'm the party boy. 2 on a track. Watch your back. What? The club. True. Hardcore. Internally all car.
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore. Ah! The question is, what is the question? But there was a question? The club. True. Hardcore. Internal. All car.
He furrows his...
The question is, what? But there was no... The club. True. Hardcore. Internally coherent. All car. All right.
He furrows...
Hardcore. Is it though? One mind. One... The club. True. Hard. Internally coherent. All car.
He furrows his...
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really? No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
The skin on your back is crawling. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be...
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still... Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last month, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper? It's like it's only ultra.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
If anything, it sounds a bit proto. Like it's not fully formed yet. You might be a moribund alcoholic and a failed cop, but you are pretty certain a thing cannot be both proto and hardcore.
It is, isn't it? But how could it become hardcore? I know the answer in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. If this is not hyper, how could anything be? What? Guys, there's some... Oh, yeah!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter.
I know! So does...
But there's something else that hasn't failed you.
No! This is the answer! Uh-huh. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah! All right!
The large-headed...
Good morning! Yeah! Pump it up! Pump it up! Pump it up!
No. The large-head...
Good morning! Yeah! Pump it...
No. The large-headed...
Good morning! Yeah! Pump it up! Pump it up!
No. The large-head...
Good morning! Yeah!
No. The large-headed...
Good morning! Yeah! Pump it...
No. That would be silly. Your body isn't for thinking. It's for robust, whole... The large-head...
Good morning! Yeah!
No. The large-headed...
Good morning! Yeah!
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits...
What? Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from? I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just the party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
The young man falls silent with appreciation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it. So that, yeah, maybe that street talker...
There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches, like bronze ribbons blowing in...
Oh, I know!
St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags and the industrial...
I knew that!
And the mosaic sidewalk.
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam, right?
Does it?
Anyway, that's all we...
Cupman! Tape! Yeah! Spins the tape until the space escape! Yeah! Alright! No! No, no! This is gonna make people scared! Keep it positive! Righteous! No! No, can't do! This is gonna... Yeah! No nation, but transnation! No war, but class war!
Don't be a lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells red.
Yeah!
Unless you were thinking Revershow imperative right now.
Hardcore superstar! Yeah! Lungs are for love! Yeah!
Why does art inspire you so much? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory. In short, art is the highest form of... Have you looked in the mirror lately? To be honest, you have the exact features of the modern artist, with that wild hair and those clothes. Perhaps you should try to write, yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop. Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery. The trite and derivative art. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is...
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good. It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading. A sticker? You mean...
Interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it looks like.
Good, good. What did you want to know? Yes, you're the 23rd person to get it right, and I've asked 23 people. Looks like it's a dead guy smiling to the entire human race. We're all the same. Same eyes, same smile. He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? The present moment and life are the old. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe...
Or drugged out of his mind, come to think of it. He blinks, waiting for the next question.
Simplicity was brought to us by classical soul artist modernism, but that was a tasteful, well, hardcore is not the sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing. It is. I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing, but what for? The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law. I can see that. Further sign matching would do good for us. Nah. You heard me. Weird stuff. Wires going into water.
The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revachol's sister revolution.
Nothing's wrong with it. Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders, pretending... Yeah, gotta compare. See if we... I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
Hi again. So,
And? What happened? Oh, man!
who is he? What did you think? Really? Ah, interesting. What's he doing in the church?
No matter.
Is he? Yeah. Noid.
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
I guess it's not a massive problem.
Everyone is welcome.
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? Come on, man. Who will...
Feels alive!
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
You'll get there, believe me. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise.
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out?
Unity!
And you can't just evict her?
Look at you. No, Noid. He's right. Maybe if that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church.
The lines in the dark exist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music?
Egghead cannot believe what you just said.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay.
Excellent. Good luck, my friend. Goodbye.
A familiar apparatus behind you. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. This trap is also full of
Another empty trap.
Neither does the... This trap's not too... The reeds bend for the constant distance song. Nothing but locusts in this...
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done. No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
This is the last. The trap feels light. No locust. No phasmid either. But still,
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean...
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked the trap up and shook it before dropping it back down.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not. Okay, but after that we get back to our own assignments. We've done a thorough...
A cold gust of air, the reeds by the later it gets, the colder.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Oh, you don't want to hear about...
Ramblings. Nonsense.
But, darling, I didn't even...
Measuring things is...
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what...
Reflexively, the lieutenant...
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden... I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stone. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could... For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed...
It did, yes.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession. Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself.
What if it is the case?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
There's really no point in manipulating.
Oh, I'd be delighted.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
He nods, and is cryptid's cryptid. Ooh, tough choice there.
No, it's the cryptid. Oh, yes. The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11 point...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until it was sighted by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all...
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sand... The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste, alone in the blasted desert heat. The doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately... Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, the professor climbed up there with a rod. Then, the teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes. The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. The 8-eyed teratorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there. Yes, way, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been...
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a...
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of...
Not really. It's just style.
Very.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know? Yes. It was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war. The kind green ape would visit bunkers during the night. Yes, it has amazing... Indeed, there is. It's our closest relative among the cryptid, which is to say the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor, and that evolved parallel to our own, just like your partners.
The lieutenant looked...
Oh, no, I didn't mean to imply that Saelites are inferior to us in many ways. You are superior. For example, your earwax...
A tremendous evolutionary advantage, I'm sure. But perhaps we've had enough speculative biology for today?
Of course, dear.
I couldn't possibly shower thanks on you as enthusiastically as my wife has, but I am...
He tries to play it cool. Remain professorial.
Good. Okay. And? Completely empty?
No locusts?
That's not ideal, but... I definitely left that one...
Right from the campsite?
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motive...
Of course, more clever.
Yes. The Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped.
Another trip to the reeds.
I appreciate your concern.
You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he's gotten defensive.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought
Heartfelt gratitude.
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
The hawthorn tree, just like promised. You've stood here for what seems like eons, guzzling the sickly fumes of lorries and carriages. Like an immaculate lap, you just can't get it loose. All you've done is make your fingers bleed from the thorns. The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles, patting the tree, reveals a small sticker which has almost... The bronze ribbon twists around and within the branches. There's a twisted logic in this mess. You see the ends of the ribbon, the way it flows, how it twists and turns. It's all... The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint, with slow and deliberate motions, pulling, bending, it curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help.
What's the tape for? How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it? You could also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We should...
Good idea. He might have the tools.
Hello again. How can I help you? You mean Reese Foley? Yeah, I do, but I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn...
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand.
No, it's different. Those film tapes actually means... Huh? What do you... Yes, what about it? Is it any good? The music, I mean. You're quite invested in this. Okay, I'll help you out. It's going...
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a...
Yeah, my pleasure. I do what I can for true passion projects. Just try not to use this tape for negative photon emissions. Take responsibility. Okay.
It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call...
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with... But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer? Oh. That's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all. Why odd? Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they...
Life world? Someone's been reading up on last century Gottwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? What music? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it.
It's going to be quite a few years before nature is able to completely take care of a motor carriage. You could always come back in a few months and see if you still want to give it a proper send-off.
I understand, believe me. I really do. I think about... But daydreaming is a rich man's game. At sea, you can't afford to be careless and dream. Anyway... What are we talking about here again? The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer. The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer. The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little...
Oh yes, she does. You...
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Oh yes, she does.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Oh yes, she does.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Oh yes, she does.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Oh yes, she does.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Oh yes, she does.
The waves are beginning to die down.
Oh yes, she does.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little...
Oh yes, she does.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
You think she really needs more of that after a man died at sea? What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober? Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very...
I have, and I don't really. Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Where would this walk...
Nothing creepy, strange, or out there.
All right, I will walk with you. But you need to understand that nothing is going to happen. Charming. My man was like that too. Had to knock 2 of his teeth out to establish a good relationship dynamic. I'll see you at Land's End in, let's say, 15 minutes.
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready. Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place? In the distance, you can hear the breakers roar. There, it's late. Smoking, drinking, being happy and elated. A smoking assay. Tio Motiri. Nothing is unimportant. The salty water to warm his hands before he pulled the trigger. To warm his hands before the salty water as correct. The woman gazes steadily.
Aye, so here you are. It's late and the sun is going down. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today.
Across the rusty water, that's La Delta, the financial district.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments. So this is what this is. Responsible. Well, maybe it is. Maybe you'll have a revelation and crack whatever you're on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves now.
Her laughter is throaty and warm. It rhymes with the sunlit waves and the cries of the gulls. She nods to you. As she turns to face the sun, you should say something. Anything. Maybe the tequila sunset thing.
It's a common Revacholian expression. Means drinking yourself to death. So, are you going to keep the name? Well then, Harry.
The remains of the dying sun are reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking in the shimmering air. River Esperance flowing into the bay.
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer.
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else, shaking you out. The sun isn't always that great. Think of people living in desert climates with sparse vegetation and little drinking water.
Oh, that was a bit of pride and a bit of superstition.
And a bit of conceptual unity too, it being yellow and all. There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skuas, grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always...
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organisation or government. How can that be? I guess we wouldn't really be here if that thing wasn't on our team.
Say what? Something interesting? Impossible.
Aye, brains generally aren't very good, are they? I prefer backs, arms, shoulders, lungs too. You know, the wind's going to pick up soon, and I have to go, but have this. The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore. No. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me. Doubt it. But thank you for the company.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
Farewell.
As she walks off, the wind picks up and the light. It's getting late. The bed is comforting, if a bit. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, such as it is. On the table, you see a bowl of... The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. You almost look like a professional. The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone?
This bastard isn't even listening.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people.
Hear that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing. It's much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too... We're trying to help you. All these processes...
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is...
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment when you close them again.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass.
So I think that this is where we're going to call it for the night. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you again next time. Ugh.